Good morning, afternoon, and or evening. I'm a second-year animal science student here at LSU. I've worked at a vet clinic for about 2 years now, and I have this vivid memory of a warm head on my chest, a cold nose on my arm, and a loud snore in my ear. That's my dog Zulu. He's a 6-year-old Doberman, and I love him dearly. I've had about 10 pets in my lifetime, ranging from dogs to fish, and I've gotten them from breeders and from animal shelters. Now, I feel qualified to tell you about the opt-to-adopt movement. It may be tempting to purchase from breeders, however, it's better from the animal community when you purchase from shelters for a variety of reasons. In the next few minutes, I'll tell you about what the opt-to-adopt movement is, effects of purchasing from breeders, and effects of purchasing from shelters. Now, the opt-to-adopt movement is a movement that promotes purchasing from animal shelters instead of from breeders for a variety of reasons, and it helps the animal community. It stems from the adopt, don't shop saying, which has had some controversy. Haley Young, which is a trainer for reactive dogs and has been rescuing dogs since 2019, talks about this in her Pause and Reflect blog. She talks about how the verbiage vilifies people from purchasing from even reputable breeders and divides the animal community. Now, this doesn't do anything for the animals that really need our help, so opt to adopt is a more unifying statement which still promotes the same message of adopting from animal clinics instead of buying from breeders. What are some effects of buying from breeders? Now, breeders increase the already overpopulated population of animals in America, and they support inhumane practices. Pause, which is an organization founded in 1967, they rehabilitate wildlife, bring home animals, and educate the public. Say 6 to 8 million animals are submitted to animal shelters yearly. This is a horrible number, and unfortunately all these animals do not get homes, but breeders are still putting more animals into this already overcrowded population. Some animals have to be euthanized because they don't have homes. On top of that, they have inhumane practices like overbreeding animals. They aren't getting animals the care they need. They're selling them before 6 weeks of age. They're combining breeds that do not match, and they're creating unique dogs, however, dogs with genetic defects. And they're overcrowding pens. Now, a lot of animal science people know that selling animals before 6 weeks of age is very detrimental, and they need to be with their families and their mothers before that 6 weeks of age. My family did not know this when they purchased my dog Zulu, so we had to spend a lot of time and money training out bad habits that would have been trained out by his mother and his litter mates, like playing too aggressively. So moving on, what are some benefits of purchasing from animal shelters? I do want to say that not all breeders are bad. There are reputable sources, and people get animals from breeders for things like working dogs. You don't want a Shih Tzu, Rottweiler mix watching your sheep. If you do your research properly, it can still be beneficial, and as long as you get it from a reputable source, you know that the animal comes from a safe environment. Now on to shelters. Shelters decrease the amount of euthanizations that happen yearly, are more economical, and they provide a wide range of animal ages for owners to choose from. Now, the ASPCA, the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, was established in 1866, compiled national data, and say that 970,000 animals are euthanized yearly in animal shelters. This is a horrible number, but in 2011, that number was 2.6 million. That is a dramatic decrease, which is amazing because people were supporting the opt-to-adopt movement. We need to keep supporting this movement. And it's no secret that animals at animal shelters are cheaper than from breeders. And these animals are not defected. They are not any less deserving of love. They have their shots. They're spayed and neutered often. And they have had clinical visits to make sure they're free of defects, or if they do have defects, owners can be notified. Finally, older animals are also available at these animal shelters. If someone doesn't have the time or energy to commit to raising an animal from a younger age, they can pick an older animal, which is a less time commitment and a calmer temperament, or they can still pick a younger animal that's 1 to 2 years old and still have the opportunity to raise it, but it can still be things like potty trained because it's already been potty trained in the shelter. All in all, supporting the opt-to-adopt movement is so beneficial for the animal community. Breeders support inhumane practices and overpopulation, while shelters support lower euthanization, is more economical, and it has a better variety for picking out your furry friend. Next time, go to your local shelter when you're thinking about getting a new pet. You've supported the opt-to-adopt movement, and you've also saved a life. Thank you.